Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Alpha 101. Tonight we have Nikolay Mikhalchuk from the Tawa Roosters. Uh, Nikolay, this is your second time for Alpha 101, making you the first person to do that, eh?
Thank you so much. You're really kind to me.
Yeah, man, you got me doing this at 10 o'clock at night. It's 4 hours past my bedtime, yo.
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Yeah.
I put my kids to bed, so this is the only time I can do it.
How's the lockdown been with, you got three youngsters running around, eh?
Yes, yes.
How's
Not too
that been?
bad,
Not too
not too
bad?
bad. Yeah, it's a bit tough working from home because
Mm.
they jump in on your head. Usually, they take your laptop and running with your laptop. Cell phone, they take cell phone. They're under the bed, so
Uh,
it's tough challenge, but it's so good because now kids have parents to play with, which is I
mm.
think amazing for kids.
Well, also, a lot of my friends, I think kids now have all these digital stuff, the iPads and mobile phones, that stuff
Yeah.
that we didn't grow up with that stuff. We had to use our imagination and stuff, right? Yeah.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
yeah.
But the
So
problem is my wife. She's force all our kids to be like digital free, not to use screens.
okay.
So if they, for example, if they see my uh, cell phone on the table, it's
Hmm.
like a huge temptation for them to grab it and run away. Same with laptop. So I'm in trouble. Working from home. My boss calling me. I don't know. Kids took my phone.
Oh man, that's funny. All right. I wanted to, before we get started on the Roosters and everything, I wanted to ask: have you been watching The Last Dance, the ESPN doc about the MJ and the Bulls?
Yeah. But only couple of episodes, the first ones, because it's really
Oh,
tough.
really?
Yeah, because
Uh,
look, first kids movies, then some comedies from my wife, and then only me myself. So it's difficult. You have to understand. With all my
yeah, yeah,
passion for MJ, I was able to watch I think couple.
yeah. So, what's been your impression so far of the episodes
No,
that you've seen?
I think it's amazing, just amazing for basketball in general, and especially
Mm.
during this time during lockdown. A lot of people like when I turn on Netflix and Last Dance #1 in New Zealand. Overall, from all the
Yeah, yeah,
movies,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, "Wow, this is really good." Because some people after Last Dance they're gonna go and shoot some hoops, which is just
Mm.
amazing. Yeah, so I think it's not only for New Zealand, for the whole. Like some of my friends who has no business to do basketball or work with basketball, they all
Mhm.
impressed. Like, "Oh, did you watch it? It's so amazing, such a great movie." So I think it just and plus, I'm a big fan of not only Michael Jordan but NBA in '90s.
Yeah.
So I think it's huge. Yeah, and plus how they make it. But nowadays they can build story from air from everything basically. But Michael Jordan, he's one of the greatest. So it's easy to build a nice story. Yeah,
Mm.
around him.
I think it might be the best documentary in terms of basketball production that I've
Yeah,
seen. They really did a good job. The production value is high, and I'm actually surprised at some of the stuff that's in there because Michael Jordan owns all that footage, and he's one of his production companies behind it, and it's kind of he's not looking like a good guy. He's kind of
yeah.
looking
That's what
he's
he
looking like a
said.
jerk
Yeah,
a little bit.
but I think it will continue, and I think they kind of gonna fix his image because I think they want to keep everyone engaged. So this I believe this is how they build the story. So I
You know what
think
I you know what I heard that
yeah.
because right now they've had 6 episodes,
Mhm.
and so the seventh and eighth episodes will air 2 nights from now, Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
And I heard from ESPN that the next 2 episodes really make him look like a real bad guy,
Okay.
and they were
So
really
the
surprised. They were really surprised that he allowed that because he comes off as a real jerk in the next few episodes.
yes, I definitely will watch it.
If they did another documentary, what player would you like to see next?
Oh, it's such a tough one.
Hmm.
I just don't know. So many great players. So
But
many great stories.
you personally, who would you like to see?
It's interesting. From the '90s, or I don't know.
Any period.
It's a good one. I honestly I just don't know. Maybe someone like bloody John Starks.
What's up with you and John Starks, man? You love John Starks. Every time I
No,
talk to you, it's John Starks.
no, I just like him. I like him, but I think he's like his story from like supermarket to NBA and be like one of the good guards in NBA. It's a good story. Yeah, to
What's
tell.
this about
But
supermarket?
because he was working in the supermarket, I think he was like in and
Oh.
out from basketball. Yeah, and then he was working in the supermarket, almost killed himself, putting something on the shelves. Yeah. Then,
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. This is his story. I mean, this is the reality. Like we don't know a lot of stories behind a lot of players, like even international players. Like for example, Arvydas Sabonis. I would like to know Arvydas Sabonis story because people don't know. Like people now know his son, but Arvydas Sabonis is like a god in Europe, in Eastern Europe of basketball. He's on the same level as Michael Jordan in some countries in Eastern Europe, but people in like in States, New Zealand, they don't know who is this Arvydas Sabonis. So definitely, I would like to know something about European players, especially now. Luka Doncic, it's a huge star, Slovenian guy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Maybe bring some international flavor. Why not?
Yeah, I know we talked about Arvydas last time we did this one-on-one, but yeah, I just wish because he came to the States with the Trailblazers, and by that time he wasn't himself. He was all
because
injured and everything, and I wish I got to see him in his prime.
Yeah, the reality is his Achilles, both of them destroyed, completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Plus in Soviet Union, like Soviet Union was famous, they fixed the age. So when he came to NBA, he might be like 4 years older than he actually is in his passport.
He came pretty old, right?
Yeah, he was already old. Yeah. So
how old did he come? Do you know?
I think like 31.
30?
Like yeah. So maybe like he came 34. Who knows? This is what they did in Soviet Union. I don't know why.
Well, I bet half the alpha people don't even know what we're talking about because
But check out highlights. Still on YouTube you can find highlights. He's amazing. He was amazing when he came. He was old. He was like
still pretty. He was still pretty good when he got to the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, like double in NBA.
I really do hope they do make more of these documentaries because not only is it good, but I think for the younger generation now, I mean, you and I, we grew up with Jordan. We got to see him play, but it's much different to see a player play every day than it is to just see highlights of the past, right? You can't get a flavor for how good they really were, and I think also it's showing the younger generation now how basketball was back then. How it's so different now. It's crazy how different it was, and
completely different. Completely.
Yeah. Like you could punch people and close on people, and you wouldn't be thrown out of the game. But now, if you breathe on someone, you get thrown out.
Yeah, and like level of attention, like all the attention goes to MJ. Now, like all 8 main players of NBA receive a lot of attention in each team.
Yeah,
and money too. Like money, just incredible now.
That's true. Oh, one thing I want to ask about is I was talking earlier this week with Ethan about zones. So zones in America are looked down upon as lazy defense. But in Europe, if I got this correct, zones are used more prominently. Is that correct?
Yeah. And coaches can mix up, like they can play man-to-man, they can play zone. It's completely different combinations. Like they can play zone press, then play man-to-man, then zone again. It's just all they like to mix. And for them, zone is like one of the good style in defense. So it's not a problem at all. It's depend. Like some of the coaches, they do think that zone is a lazy defense. They even call it Bulgarian zone, because Bulgarian, I don't know why they call it, because maybe Bulgarian national team was lazy to play zone. They just occupied some space. Yeah, but some of the coaches, they're like, no problem, we can play zone. And it depends who you're playing against. If you playing against guys who can penetrate and go fast, but cannot, they shoot bricks from 3-point line, why bother play man-to-man? Stay in zone. Like we do. Like Roosters,
I don't. You guys play a mix, right? We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But in Europe, what's more prominent, man or zone?
No, it depends on the coach. I just cannot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's completely depend on the coach. And I think high level, it's man-to-man, but
Okay.
man-to-man with a lot of different rules, like how you play against pick and roll, what you play, blue, red, they call it, some coaches call
Yeah.
pink, So it can be some elements of the zone defense in your system. I mean, European coaches, they're so smart. They don't really have one vision, they try to adjust. Yeah. And plus they really adjust to different teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I was talking to Ethan about this as well. It's just something I can't get used to. Because basically when I grew up, we had illegal defense.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know about illegal defense?
Yeah, I know, but there is
Yeah.
not such thing in Europe.
Yeah. Well, for any of the alpha viewers out there, legal defense was a system in the NBA that was used up until 2001, I believe, and then they put in the defensive 3 second. But you couldn't guard outside of your own man. If you either guard your man and you had to be within 3 feet, and if you decided to double team someone, then you had to commit and double team them. You couldn't waver in between. Once you wavered in between, it was a technical free throw. So just in case the young people don't know that, but so that led to the isolation and stuff in the 90s with with Jordan and stuff like that, and it led to all different kinds of things. But so for zone defense, I want to see if you agree with this statement. Because of zone in Europe, is that why there's less dominant low post European players?
No, I think it's different. Like because of different styles, and they pay attention a lot to defense, and plus in Europe, they pay attention a lot of, like, the value of the games it's much higher. Like in Europe, for example, you need to win every game, almost every game. In NBA, some games important, some games not important. For example, if you're already in the playoffs, you can let your main player sit on the bench and you play, not a problem. In European basketball is different, so they're fighting for each point. So that's why defense is like kind of like a key, and it's always really packed defense, like with zone and stuff like this. So you don't see really dominant offensive players. You rarely see in Europe the player who can score like 25 points a game consistent. It's rarely happens. Like you usually see players produce 12 points, 14 points a game, and in Europe there are different specialties. Like you have the guy who creates, you have the guy who stays in the corner, knock down open 3-point shots. You have your pivot, low post player, but he's not so dominant because of double teams and stuff like this. And plus they smart, so as soon as they double, they kick out the ball for the open 3-point shot. In States, if you're dominant, you probably will try to score against your double team, stuff like this. So European basketball, it's more like around ball movement, find open shots, attack, recovery. So if recovery comes, they try to attack it again, like stuff like this. So that's why in Europe you see, like even if you go like EuroLeague and top scorers, it will be, I don't know, some guys who score like 21, 22 points, rest of them 17, 18 points.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, bigs in Europe are good, but they're smart too. So if they see double team, they kick out immediately. They don't wanna, they don't want an extra problem, coach, crazy European coach yell at them with his broken English, just like mine.
Well, it's always been interesting because I've always had a higher regard for European big men rather than big men from the States, because big men from the States, if you look at through the history of American basketball, is very limited. They can't shoot the ball outside of 2 or 3 feet away from the basket. It's all just give me the ball down on the block and let me do my back down to the basket, 2 or 3 dribbles, and let me do that baby hook or turnaround hook or sky hook like Kareem. That's basically it. You couldn't see a center shoot more than 3 feet away from the basket. So that's why I always thought European big men were very interesting and obviously more skillful. And when European big men started coming to the NBA, I thought it was such a cool thing to see the contrast of styles. You had the American physicality versus the skill facts of the European big men. Sorry, that's my dog. He's a watchdog. So that's always been an interesting dynamic for me. One more question before we get a little bit to the Roosters, or maybe a few more questions. But what would you say is your favorite era of basketball?
Oh, it's a tough one because I'm just a huge basketball fan, so I'm trying to
Yeah,
find
yeah.
a good in every era. Like
Well, see, that's
I'm a huge fan of NBA 90s. Yeah,
so
90s.
like.
So like 96, 97, 98, when I was crazy about basketball and NBA.
Hmm.
But then now I don't really follow NBA anymore because it's really tough.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to follow European basketball, some of my
Mm.
former basketball VTB league, and now just follow two basketball leagues. It's so tough, to be honest, especially
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
have kids.
yeah, yeah.
So if we are talking about NBA, definitely, yeah, NBA 95, 96, 97, 98. Yeah.
So it's kind of like the start of the wing era, and also you have the very tough defensive era, hand checking era,
Yep. Yep.
where
Yeah.
hand checking was allowed and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And when Kobe just came, yeah, I remember like each season when Kobe just arrived to NBA.
yeah, yeah. What do you think is the biggest change in today's basketball than '90s basketball that you usually grew up with?
I think just shooting abilities. Like
Yeah.
I think in '90s it was a lot of about like skills, how you drive, how athletic you are, how fast you can run, how high you can
Mm.
jump, how tough you are. Now it's all about like shooting abilities and
Yeah.
skills in general. Like if you're tall guy with skills and plus you can score from 3-point line, you just incredible. Like how you can guard such a player. And
Yeah.
plus like the whole court is so wide because everyone now scared of big guys scoring 3-point shot. And as you
Mm.
said, it used to be like the big guys, they just bang under the basket, do some dunks and stuff. Now now Porzingis, all his friends, they all hang out on 3-point line. They don't care about bang bodies under the basket. You remember, for example, Shaq,
Yeah, yeah,
he's just unstoppable.
yeah.
I don't
Mm.
think we have such player now.
Man, I remember. Do you remember when Yao first came in?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
were highlighting those big matchups between Yao and because
Yeah. It's
Yao,
so funny.
yeah, Yao was like a kind of like a cross between American and European.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It's kind
he
of
could
mixed.
shoot.
Yeah,
He had a good
yeah,
mid
yeah,
range
yeah.
shot,
And
and
he
he
has
did post
skills
up.
too. Yeah, he
He
has
could
skills.
what? Yeah,
Skills.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah.
skills. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it was quite interesting to see him, and I think Yao won the first matchup. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was really funny one. I think Charles Barkley made fun of Yao Ming and then
Oh,
apologized. Something
kissing the
like this.
donkey,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I remember it was so funny.
Let's talk about the Roosters a bit. So you guys right now are in third place, tied with 99 Problems and the Wolves.
Hmm.
You guys are first in offense, second to last on defense. How are you feeling about you guys right now?
Not too bad. That's it.
Oh,
We can,
that didn't sound like a ringing
look,
endorsement there.
look. All I can say, we can play zone defense, no problem. With our big guys. Yeah, we can easily play zone. It's not a problem at all. Yeah, but look, I think the main problem with Roosters, and I had a conversation with Big Mike. I said, like, look, Big Mike, why
Mm,
you change the whole team? Completely new team. So we came up with completely new teams. So it
mm,
takes time to adjust to one another. I think it takes time. So this is our biggest challenge and biggest problem. We need to get to know each other so we
mhm.
can be on the same level like last season when we made it to a final, or not the last season,
2 seasons, yeah.
2 seasons before. Yeah. But I think we have all the tools. We definitely have experience. But the main problem, I think, we all have to be on the same page, and we have to understand our weaknesses and our
Hmm.
strength. Because I think under the basket we are amazing. Like we have two guys like 7-footer, 7-1.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just incredible for Alpha League, if you ask me. But we need to use. We need to know how to use them. I think this is one of the problems. Plus, I think we
Cool.
have good forwards, and I think we have all the tools, but just we need some time. We up by I don't know, we're up by 15, and we kind of relax,
Hmm.
and immediately we relax on D. We start to play Bulgarian zone, and The other guy's just good. I mean, alpha league level is good. So if you relax on D, I think sometimes we came up with mentality. Okay, even they score, we will. For example, we have Nico, we have big guys, so we can reply with 3-point shot or offensive rebound, back stuff like this. So I think we need to change this part. We need to fight a little bit more on defense. And honestly, I think we have tools. And to be honest, I think we just had a couple bad games. We relaxed when we like up by 10, 15. We're like, okay, we don't care. We don't play any more defense because our offense is good enough. It's, like a Brazilian football. We don't care how much they score, we're gonna score more. So I think same approach. We need to change it. or maybe we need to continue to score like 100, 110 points, and we're good.
But you, as well as I know, that has never worked in basketball.
Yes.
Yeah, you need defense. When you guys get to the playoffs, when you face Raw Dogs, when you face Stags, when you face the Wolves, they have such elite defenses that they're able to shut down offenses. And I'm just wondering, how are you guys going to respond when your offense is being contained and your defense? That means your defense needs to step up, and that's what I'm interested in seeing when the playoffs come.
No, let's hope we're just gonna have one more day. We're all on fire, and we're all gonna score more than 20 points. So we don't care about how good on defense they are.
Well, so you guys got 2 more games. You guys got 2 tough games, eh? Against the Gunners, who's a transition fast break team, which will test out your transition defense. Yeah. And then obviously Raw Dogs, who will test out everything you guys have.
But I think we played against Raw Dogs.
I'm sorry, not Raw Dogs. Stags. I'm sorry. Stags. Yeah. So what do you need to do to win those games against those 2 teams, you feel?
Play defense.
Oh man.
What else? Or score all our open shots? Yeah, I don't know. No, I think that, as I told you before, I think the key in alpha, if we have a complete roster, because I think, and opposition same. If they come like only 5 players, then we have a huge chance. If we come like 8 players or 9 players, yeah. But look, we need to fight more on D, and I think we need to use our big guys more. I think we just kind of. The problem is we're playing. I mean, like, give them the ball. Okay. I mean, even me myself, I feel guilty sometimes. Even after the games, I come to my guys. I said, "Look, guys, I'm sorry, man. I'm just sometimes hard head. I just try to score. I don't know, bloody 15 3-point shots, new alpha record. But in reality, our big guys is like what makes us good. And they fight on defense. Like they always fight on defense. Like we play our horrible Bulgarian zone, first line, we don't care. They go, and the big guys contend all the penetrations, all the easy shots, because they're so tall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to give them a credit, and we have to reward them. We have to give them a ball. And honestly, I think, our big guys, they kind of, with the height they have, I think they're unstoppable. But we just need to use them. Sometimes we need to stop, and we need to use them.
Yeah, I've only seen Callum. I think he's only played 2 or 3 games.
2 or 3 games. But look, he's amazing. Like when I saw him, I was like, "Who's this guy?" He's so tall. I was so surprised because I already have Mike. For me, Mike is more than enough. Big Mike. But then
is he taller than Mike?
I think he is taller than Mike.
Is he? Okay.
Taller. Yeah. I was so surprised. Like, Mike, where is this factory you produce all these huge guys? But then, some people explained to me his story that he former pro player and famous. Yeah, no one in New Zealand. So I have huge respect to him, both of them. Yeah, I think if he comes again, I hope he will play all the games. We definitely need to use him because he's just unstoppable if he has the ball and he's close to the basket. And plus, he's like a European big guy. He can shoot the wide open 3-point shot, which is just incredible.
Yeah, I was surprised because one of the games, not only did he shoot threes, but he did a spin move on the baseline around his defender and then dunked it.
Yeah, I think it was the first.
I was like, what?
Against Flint Tropics, stuff like this. I saw. Like, I looked at my bench. They looked at me. I was like, okay, guys, let's go. Easy game.
Yeah.
No, not easy game, but I was really surprised. Yeah.
Well, how do you feel your season is going so far? Right now, your percentages are up. Your field goal percentage is up. Your 3-point percentage is up. Your points per game is up. You're on pace again for another 53-point season. So how are you feeling about your game so far?
No, I'm just, I'm so grateful that I have a chance to play basketball. I don't really care about numbers, but trust me, in the car after the game, I calculate
Yeah, I
all the points.
don't.
But it's from my past. I just have fun playing basketball, and I have small injury, kind of bothers me, my Achilles, but I'm just happy to be in the game, and I'm happy
Yeah.
to have a friends around me, basketball. It's huge, huge social activity. So I don't really care a lot about my numbers. I just want to have fun, and I want to enjoy my teammates and enjoy, I don't know, oppositions, guys who we're playing against. Yeah. And I think Alpha gave me great opportunity to play. Yeah, and I'm really thankful for you and whoever working with you. Yeah, and I'm really grateful for my teammates. They invited me. I think it's a huge step to invite player like me, who every time shoots the ball. I think it's a challenging, but they made it. They invite me back, so I'm really grateful. I don't know if I would like to have a teammate like me, if you ask me, but okay.
Fine. Hey, I would love, if I was, I'm a point guard. I would love, you give me all these assists. I just pass you in the perimeter, give me my assists, man.
Yeah, if it's a good day, if it's a bad day, I don't know.
Well, what I really actually like about you this season, more than last season, is I feel this season you're looking not just to shoot the three as much. You still shoot the three, but you're getting more points inside the paint. You're looking to be more aggressive in the drives, and I think that has really opened up your game a little bit, and it shows something as well. And I think it makes you more difficult to defend because, man, I was looking over the video. You're doing spin moves. You're driving hard to the lane. It's really great to watch you diversify your game a little bit this season, which is cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mike. It's it's all because of my injury. I just feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because like what 2 seasons ago, like my first season in Alpha, all I can do, how I joke sometimes on a wheelchair, go to 3-point line and make a shot. Now it's a little bit different, just a little bit different,
Well, at least
so
you
maybe,
can shoot a three. I tried shooting a three the other day and I got an air ball. So
yeah.
that was pretty
So,
sad.
yeah, this is what I, I like. And to be honest, when I was playing back in the day, now I'm only dreaming about my legacy back in the day. I used to be a guy. Sometimes you have a shooting guard who has some size and some athletic ability, and sometimes coach play him low post. In this mismatch situation sometimes. So I used to be this guy. I used to be go in low post if there is a situation, maybe a couple times in the game, get the ball, maybe baby hook or maybe spin. Because for my size, I was kind of like big, strong guard. Yeah, so this is what I would like to use, and I think sometimes when you cannot make an open shot and you still want to be relative and you still want to help your team, then you have to do it. You have to do some different things, and especially if you have a new team like we have. Some people they don't know me. They don't even know that I'm okay 3-point shooter, because sometimes I tell to my guards, when you see fast break, look at me, because maybe it's easy 3-point shots. They're like, what is this guy talking about? Easy 3-point shot? Go to the basket. So I have to change my game. I have to if it's difficult now, but I have still contribute, and mostly I contribute on offensive end. So I would like to kind of adjust my game.
You keep talking about not knowing your teammates, and it seems like are you guys going to be able to overcome that this season? You think? Because it feels like it doesn't really. You guys are not connecting in that sense. You guys don't know each other, which is tough on a basketball team, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be a tough challenge, to be honest, because with this COVID-19 break. Yeah, I was feeling like last couple of games, so it's coming. Like we kind of understand each other, but then this huge break, we have to kind of rebuild it again. Yeah, it's definitely a tough task, but let's hope.
Yeah.
Two games which you mentioned will show. yeah, I hope it's going to be a close game and it will build us as a team.
One thing that just came to mind is, do you think you guys mostly do a 2-3, right? A
Mhm.
2-3 zone. What
Yeah.
do you think? Since you have a big man, you have two big men, two 7-footers, and you also have Kyle who comes off
Yeah.
the bench, and he's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of a big
He's
guy.
good. Yeah.
Do you think it would make sense to kind of do like a triangle two or a matchup zone maybe?
Look, let's keep it our secret. You know about Bulgarian zone is one. Then I will keep couple as a secret. You know, I already had conversation with my guy, so we kind of.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. I said, okay, guys.
you got a surprise. All right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We think it's gonna be a huge surprise. I don't know how it's gonna be.
Okay. Who do you feel is the best player right now in Alpha, in your eyes?
Oh, Campbell from Raw Dogs, point guard,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
James from 99 Problems.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely two cool guys. I mean, there are a lot of good players, definitely good players, but those two I kind of play against them, and
Mm-hmm.
I think like one-on-one they're kind of unstoppable on alpha level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and on a good day they can, I mean, beat any team. James, I mean, almost by himself because he's so good offensive player, and Campbell, he's such a great creator, and plus he's kind of the guy who can play defensive, offensive, fast break, slow offense. Like I was really surprised. Like first when I saw him, okay, who is this guy? But then when I watched him close, I was really surprised. And in general, there are different, like for example, Tani, who's playing for Gunners. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna play. I don't know, like because maybe he's gonna play for Saints or stuff like this. But
Yeah.
he's really good. I like him. I don't wanna. To be honest, I don't like to highlight players besides of myself. No, I'm just joking. So I just, to be honest, I can go on because I understand how difficult it is to play basketball, especially play on a high level. So there are definitely like 7-8 players, even like Cam on my team. If he's go fast break, he's with the ball, he's sometimes unstoppable with his athleticism and his size.
Yeah, he's added the 3-point shot this season. He said he made
Yeah.
more threes this season than all the other season combined, which
Yeah,
makes him even more of a threat. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes he's releasing the ball. I was like, no, but then
He's got a real weird release, eh?
Yeah. But then when he made a couple shots, I was like, no, man, keep going, keep shooting. You're good. Yeah. Look, this is my philosophy. If you're open, they give you a shot, you have to take it. You have to make them respect you, even if you miss. Okay, but because sometimes they just disrespect you. They give you some space. I tell to all my guys, look, guys, if you have open shot, take it.
Yeah. Well, one last question about players. Who's played you the best on defense so far in Alpha? One-on-one defense for you.
I think, look, I want to say it's impossible to guard me one-on-one, but this is this is completely nonsense. No, I'm just saying that like my style of play, it's not really to guard me one-on-one because I'm not really a penetrate to the basket. So I think it's kind of like a team effort to always keep an eye on me. I think this is the main point. Like the players like me, you have to keep an eye. You have to see that he's not completely wide open. So definitely when I play against Raw Dogs, it's just impossible. It's like so difficult to find the moment to be open. They always bother you. They always like in your face. And I really respect that. It's just really tough. Like all my shots against Raw Dogs is bloody lucky shots. But I made them. Yeah. I think if you're talking about guys like, for example, James, you have to go really one-on-one against him because he's such a good penetrator. Yeah, but I don't really penetrate. So for me, it's like it's all team effort to know there is a shooter on the team. Guys, we need to take an like eye on him and make sure he's not having his open looks. So Raw Dogs, definitely, no question about it. They give me hard time. If they're watching this, don't do it again. Give me some space, give me freedom, respect my age.
Well, it's really great talking to you, man, because you're one of the few people who at Alpha, because most of the players at Alpha are age 21, 26, most of them, I would say. You know,
Like
so you're one
younger.
of the few guys.
Yeah,
You know,
Tawa,
you and
young.
Dale. Yeah, we're within
Yeah.
some years of each other, so we can talk about some of the older stuff and some of the stuff that we've seen. But yeah, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, man. It was really a pleasure talking to you once again.
No
And
problem. My pleasure.
you guys got two big games, Showtime games, so I look
Yeah.
forward to that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think we'll be back in no time. I think New Zealand fighting COVID is really well, and I'm really grateful that me and my family we are in New Zealand
Mm,
because I see what's going on in States and Russia, just a
mm.
disaster. But yeah, I think the way New Zealand are fighting against COVID is just so inspirational. Yeah.
How's the situation in Eastern Europe? It's not too bad, is it, compared to other places?
It's not too bad, but Eastern Europe is always tough. You don't really know how they do testing. You cannot. I
Yeah.
told you story about Arvidas Sabonis, so you don't know like how
Yeah.
they do, what kind of statistics do they have. But yeah, Kazakhstan it's not like Russia. Russia is bad because Russia
Yeah.
most of the cases in Moscow, and Moscow
Mm,
one of the biggest cities in the world. So I think it's a huge problem for cities like Moscow
mm.
and New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good to know that your home country's not so severely affected. But
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, man. So you have a good night, and thank you once again, eh?
Oh, my pleasure, Mike. Thank you so much for
All
having me.
right. Thank you. You have a good night.